please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi there, good morning. You're watching Chartbusters, the show where we highlight all the buzzing stocks of the day, get you expert advice on how to capitalize and trade on those stocks. All that back in the next half an hour. I'm Mangla Malu. With me is Surabhi Upadhyay. Surabhi, good morning. Absolutely flat as far as the Nifty and the Sensex is concerned. The mid-cap index taking a bit of a beating as we speak, down about 0.6% at the lowest end of today's trading session. And the advanced decline lines, both of them should come up for you. We're seeing a sharp divergence there, about 2 stocks in the red for 1 in the green. As we speak, just watch out for the Asian markets as well. They were under pressure in today's trading session, moved a little from the low point of the day, but as we speak, it is still in the red. Expiry time, so we will watch out for whether there is support or not. 10,700 put, that one should come up for you. Seeing a lot of writing, as well as the 10,700 call, that one should come up for you as well. One would imagine that, you know, when the markets are absolutely flat, they would see some bit of short covering there, but no, there is some writing there as well. So let's see where this goes. Are we in a range or not?
Well, as I see the screen, Manglam, it's just like, you know, yesterday continuing, because it's the same kind of stocks that are leading things down. So you've got pressure on something like a Reliance Industries, again, in that same sort of a band, right in the middle of today's range as well, not much moving, 10,770 on the screens. And today we've got some underperformance in the mid-cap market as well. Have a couple of those consumption names to thank for with respect to the upside on the Nifty. So whether it's something like an ITC, Asian Paints, something like Titan, but otherwise the banks aren't working today. Even pharma is seeing some profit taking, and of course big stocks like Reliance, as we mentioned. But let's get started with the headlines on Chartbusters. Info Edge in news as it makes an investment of $45 million in Policy Bazaar. The management tells CNBC TV 18 that they have 15 investments lined up for the future, with about 1,800 crore rupees of cash in the books.
Aurobindo Pharma gets an approval for anti-infection injection ertapenem. The company has guided for a launch of the $387 million drug in H1 FY19.
Cement and paint stocks gain. Goa GST Council member Movin Gorino tells CNBC TV 18 that the council will discuss lowering of the GST rate on cement, paints and other items in the upcoming meeting.
The Fortis saga continues. Board meet for approving the fourth quarter numbers will continue today. Right, in the meanwhile, just keep an eye out on a couple of these stocks that we're watching out for. The footwear stocks, they seem to be running. We have Liberty as well as Relaxo and Bata, all of them up anywhere about 2 to 6%. And as we speak, GSK Consumer, that stock should come up for you as well, up about 5.5%. Remember, Horlicks has been on the block. And now newspaper reports suggest that there could be another player for Horlicks, that is Coca-Cola, along with the other names that we had which were in race for Horlicks. So that stock is up about 5.5% as well, but still flat on the Nifty. So what should you do as far as the Nifty and the Nifty Bank are concerned? We have Prakash Gaba with us. Prakash, what would your trades be, or should there be a trade, because we're absolutely flat?
We are absolutely flat, but we have seen on Nifty technical bounce from some kind of a support. So there could be an upside. If it does happen, maybe 10,775 is the place to work with. Now, if it takes out today's 10,740 zones again, possibly we could see a down move. So 750 is the level that I would watch and be sideways. So far it's flat. Bank Nifty seems to be more weak, and I would wait for 26,500 to breach. If that happens on Bank Nifty, then very good chance we can see a slide out there. So I have 2 stocks, both on the shorting side. Jet Airways looks like a hard landing. Perhaps we can see a down move here to maybe around the zones of 370. Stop about 380 should be fine. And second is Tata Steel. That looks weak as well. Possible target on the downside is in the vicinity of 540 zones. Stop about 560.
You said Tata Steel, Prakash. I just want to throw one more stock at you. Tata Motors, now the total cut from yesterday is in excess of 8%. It's still sliding, this stock. Any levels inside?
Yes, in fact, in the morning I had given a sell on Tata Steel that I think target was somewhere closer to 280 or 275. It looks like it's there, and possibly we could see more levels to come. and I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to somewhere closer to around 265 zone. So far, Tata Motors looks weak, still looks weak.
All right, Tata Motors still looks weak. That's as far as the car is concerned. And you said there'd be hard landing for Jet Airways, but both of them will land and drive on the tires. And these stocks, they are running quite fast as we speak. In fact, C8 is at the high point of the day. We have Apollo Tyres at the high point of the day. MRF2 is at the high point of the day. So all these tire stocks should come up for you. There you have it. It's moved into the green. Apollo Tyres as well as MRF should come up for you as well.
Hard landing is good for tires.
Hard landing is good for tires, but what are the charts saying?
Yeah, I like C8. Certainly, looks like 1300 seems to be a strong support zone. We could see a bounce here. If the bounce happens, maybe 1330 is the level I would look at. MRF, well, that looks good as well, but I prefer C8.
All right, C8 over MRF. That is Prakash's view as far as charts are concerned. With that, we'll take a short break, come back, and we'll turn on the AC, actually. Amber Enterprises stock on our radar after Angel Broking has initiated coverage. They say this company is well poised to grow in the room air conditioner market.
Welcome back. You're watching Chartbusters. Well, we will connect with the management of Amber in just a while from now. Now, this is a stock that's been in focus because, as we just told you before getting into break, Angel Broking sounds quite optimistic. They, in fact, have started coverage on the stock. They think that there's a potential upside in the next 1 to 2 years. We have Mr. Jasbir Singh, Chairman and CEO of the company, now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Singh, thanks for joining in. Let's start by getting your first thoughts on demand outlook. Now that we're hitting the monsoon season in the west, the north is still waiting, I think. As you're looking at FY19, you had a good year last time around. This year, what's the kind of top-line estimates that you have internally?
So last year we've completed 2,100 crores, and we're expecting a positive outlook of about close to about 25% revenue upside on where we are. So we are quite optimistic. It's been decent summers. There has been some summer pattern shifts, but that doesn't change the long-term outlook of the sector. And our order book is very robust. We have added new customers, we have added new products, and we are also increasing our wallet share within the existing customers. So all of these together, we are expecting to touch about 20 to 25% revenue growth this year.
25% revenue growth, Mr. Singh. I remember you coming to us in our studio during the IPO. So just let's talk about some of the money that you've used post the IPO as well. You were to pare down your debt by about 400 odd crores. What does the debt in your book stand at currently? And we have seen finance costs come down to 7 crore quarterly. So does that mean next year you will do about 28 crores in terms of finance costs as against about 64 crores that you did in the previous year?
Yeah, so the proceeds of IPO was largely to pay the debt, which we did the same day when we received the money. So 400 crores have been repaid to the banks. Right now, as we speak right now, the long-term debt in Amber standalone stands at only 14-15 crores, and we have got working capital limits of about 60-70 crores to be utilized right now. But including on the console basis, the debt would be somewhere about 100 crores in total, including the working capital limits. But 100 to 150 crores. From interest cost perspective, I think from 53 crores, what we are expecting this year, that we should be having not 28 crores, but something about 20 to 22 crore range.
All right, 20 to 22 crore range. So that means your finance costs will come down by about 30 crore rupees. You're talking about 25% growth on the top line. You've done profits of what, around 20 to 23 crores in the previous year. That moved to about 60 crore plus. So next year, 100 crore plus on the bottom line looks like a possibility.
Yes, I mean, I can't give you a number right now, but looking into the revenue CAGR, it should reflect on the same basis.
Mr. Singh, you are right now 85% ODM in terms of revenue, right? So the top line looks good. We've discussed the interest cost. That comes down, so the bottom line should also look good. What about the EBITDA margin? What kind of levers are you working with this year? I think you were at close to 8.5% last year. So comparable, maybe even better than that this year?
So on a standalone basis, we are endeavoring to, bring about maybe 0.2, 0.3 bips more on this. But since we have acquired LG and Ever, which are lower EBITDA margins, so on a console basis, you'll see the number almost 8.6. But on the absolute number, there will be definitely a substantial jump.
Mr. Singh, just a word on what do you borrow at? I remember you telling us that you borrow at around 9.5%, 10% in terms of borrowing costs, because yep, is that correct?
That's correct. Below 10% is
okay.
right now the number.
No, because you said you will pay around 22 crores in terms of finance costs in the next year, and at the same time you said consolidated total debt would be around 100 crores. So that would mean that your effective interest cost comes to around 22%. Shouldn't that be 9.5, 10 crores as per the...
Exactly. So if you come to the complete year-round basis, this I'm talking about the 31st March numbers. So when during the year you use the working capital limits which we have, for the different inventories and cycle. So that is what I mean. In a peak, we may be ending up using about 250 crores also. And, on 31st March, because that's a peak type of a season where we've got a lot of cash flows. So this is the number which will be reflected in the balance sheet kind of thing. Okay,
so what is the effective cost of borrowing then?
So
and on an annual basis, what should we work with?
So it will be in a range of 9.5% for the complete group.
Okay, 9.5% on an annual basis. What about the working capital cycle? What are the working capital days looking like right now?
So we operate in a net working capital days of close to about 35 days.
Okay.
And would you not like to reduce that, because it's almost about a month, right?
Yes, I mean, we used to be at 64, so it has come down drastically, and we are still working on it. But
because I remember during the IPO, you said that it will come down much below the 29 mark as well. So
yes, so we were targeting that, but due to the summer pattern shifts, we ended up having a little bit more inventories, which took our number of inventory days a bit higher.
Mr. Singh, before we let you go, just two quick details then. One, what is your order book right now? And secondly, what kind of capacity utilization are you functioning at?
So right now we have ended up, currently we are operating at about 55% capacity utilization on annual basis, which converts into about 67% on the seasonal basis, because we've got some bit of seasonality also in our business here.
And order book you said was?
Order book is quite robust. So we are, the visibility stands almost about 20 to 25% revenue CAGR. So I think in all our customers are growing in different sectors. Non-AC components is also growing.
Right.
The refrigerator, microwave and washing machine sector is growing, and air conditioners, you very well know that it's a growing sector. We have added new customers, we've added new products, so that all will bring us the
So the capacity utilization should improve then, sir, no? 65% still a bit low.
Yes, so that is where the operating leverage will come. So our expenses will not go up, whereas, the loading on the plants will go up. So that will definitely convert into a healthy bottom line.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Singh, for joining in and giving us all those details. With that, we slip into a short break. Come back, we get you more on the markets and individual stock-specific action.
Welcome back. Some stocks on the move. Interesting recovery in Voltas, by the way. Stocks still down, but well off the lows. In fact, climbing now, trying to climb towards the flat line. We have put out an exclusive story, of course, talking about the Tata Group's plans of paring down some stake in the company. Stock is right now just about 0.5% lower. Tires, of course, Mangalam has already mentioned. And do watch out for PNB Housing Finance. Again, yesterday is superstar. Again, there's some buyers that are queuing up at lower levels. The stock is still negative, but coming off the highs very, very quickly. Interesting one there. But now let's focus on one more such buzzer in trade today. Info Edge has been up and about, almost 6% higher. What's the news? Well, the company is investing $45 million in PolicyBazaar.com. Mangalam has been, of course, looking at all the details. Mangalam, how does this make sense for Info Edge?
The fact that company can prop up their investments as far as new business is concerned is something that the street really likes. Info Edge up about 5.5% in today's trading session, because they'll invest about 300 crores in Policy Bazaar. How does this happen? They invest 45 million in a company along with SoftBank, which puts in another $45 million. So together, $90 million will go into e-tech Cases, which is the parent of Policy Bazaar, for about 9% stake. So that, in effect, values Policy Bazaar at $1 billion as well. So that's yet another tech unicorn. Morgan Stanley is pretty positive on this move because the company has cash of about, 1,800 crores. And Morgan Stanley says that this announcement is quite significant because they're investing 20% of their total cash. It signifies the company's appetite for larger deals, also willingness to defend / increase stake in existing investee cos. So this is the company that also owns Zomato and has a lot of these web products. So that is something which is good. The management spoke to us. They have another 15 investments lined up for the future, and for which they have 1,800 crores of cash on their books. So actually, let's hear out what the management of InfoEdge had to say to us this morning.
Our initial stake was, obviously, we put some 16 crore to get some good amount of stake over there. But over a period of time, it has been kind of diluted, and we have been getting new and newer partners on board. And we have all marquee investors now in this company. And company is on a very strong, growth trajectory. So after this round, the valuation in this private market is, about $1 billion plus kind of a valuation. Their consolidated turnover is about more than 300 crore. And obviously, this is the insurance commission that we are talking about. We are sitting on large amount of cash. Cash has been central to our strategy. And we would be happy if there are more such opportunities available to us for more investment. We already have about 15 investments which are live with us. Of course, 2 or 3 are most talked about. The others are at a very early stage. But we would be happy to do the follow-on round in these investments, the one which we have already done. And plus, we are always looking for new startups. We have cash on our balance sheet. On our balance sheet is something like about $275 million, about 1,800 crores.
Okay, that's InfoEdge making headlines today. Let's move to the other stock on our radar. Aurobindo Pharma has been buzzing around. The company has got an approval for an injection. I'm going to try my luck with this. This is ertapenem. I have no idea if I pronounced it correct or not.
Well, yes, absolutely. Aurobindo Pharmaceuticals is in focus because they've got an approval which the street was anticipating for quite a long time, which is ertapenem. It is an anti-infective drug, or rather injection. So it is used for high-end bacterial infections. Now, it is important because it's expected to be a limited competition drug, around $380 million in terms of market size. And Aurobindo could probably make $100 million annually in terms of sales, which could trickle down to around $50 to $60 million in terms of profit for Aurobindo from this particular drug. Just want to point out that it is important, and the company, however, had guided for this approval in the first half of FY19. So maybe the street had an inkling that this approval is going to come through, and hence maybe there is the exuberance is rather capped for Aurobindo simply because the street was probably factoring it in.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. Aurobindo Pharma up about 1.5% despite this, primarily because the company had guided for this in earlier itself. Just keep an eye out on the markets. The Nifty is up about 0.5%. We're closing in on some gains. ITC is at the high point of the day, and the mid-cap index too, just virtually in the green as we speak, just about 8 points in the red. And what is taking it higher? We have the likes of PC Jeweler, which is moving higher. Voltas, of course, has now recovered a goodish bit from the low point of the day, and we have Jubilant Foodworks. Yes, that one should come up for you. That one's also gained about 1.5% in the last few seconds and currently sitting at the high point of the day. These stocks have been buzzing around, but nothing else that explains the sort of move that we're seeing in the mid-cap index, which is still, by and large, absolutely underperforming the frontline space. The Nifty at the high point of the day. With that, we'll wrap up on Chartbusters, but thanks a lot for watching. Trading Hour comes up next.